It's a very simple question. Differentiate between web page and home page. Fine. Now before starting this question, we have to discuss about these two terms. Fine. So in general, we all know that the page on internet, fine, which is made by using HTML is termed as our web page, whereas home page is the first page of a website. Fine. Home page is the first page of our website or web browser or our web portal. Fine. So it means every time when you open a website, the first page that you get, that first page is our home page. Okay. Whereas every page on internet is our web page. Okay. Now let's read the differences. The first is, a web page is a page which a user wants to access by typing the URL. Fine. So it means web page is a general page that a user want to access by just typing a URL. Fine. Whereas home page is the page which opens by default in our browser when we open a website. Fine. You might have seen that whenever we type google.com, we get the first page of Google with the Google search bar. So that page is the Google's home page. Fine. Whereas when we write something else, fine, let's suppose you are writing VSEC nblock/index. So in that case, the page that will appear, that will be your web page, that will not be your home page. Fine. And home page is the page which appears automatically when you open a website only. Fine. Now for opening the home page, a URL is not required explicitly. We just have to enter the website's domain name there without any extra file name. Fine. Then second point is, home page URL is predefined. Fine. For every home page, our URLs are predefined. It means whenever you type that google.com, you only get the home page of the Google. Fine. It means there is no other website or anything through which you have to open the Google's home page, because we can directly open it. Fine. Whereas web page URLs are opened dynamically. It means every web page will have different URL, different web address, and these addresses can change also. That's why these web pages can have different addresses. Fine. The next point we have, a web page is a web page. A home page is a web page that contains link to other web pages. Fine. What is a home page? In our home page, we have some links, and these links are the link of some other web pages. Fine. Web pages, because every page on our internet can be termed as our web page. Fine. All web pages are not home page. Fine. It's a very important point. All web pages are not home page, whereas all the home pages are the web pages. Okay. It's a contradictory point that you have to learn, that all the web pages are not home pages, whereas all the home pages can be the web pages. Fine. The last point we have, a home page is the first page that loads on opening a particular website. So it means whenever you are opening a site, the page that appears first is our home page, whereas web pages can be transferred via home page for a given site. It means we can simply open any web page by using the home page of a website. Okay, got this much? So this is the difference between web page and home page. You can either write this one, or if in case you have written yours, that will be fine, but still read this question very carefully. Okay. The next we have, how a website is different from that of a web portal. Fine. We have two different terms here. First we have a website, and second we have a web portal. Fine. Now these two terms have something in common. Well, website and web portal are two very commonly looking terms, but they have some big differences also. Fine. Generally both of these are the combination of web pages. Fine. Generally whenever we combine web pages, it creates a website, and this web portal is also a type of website. The only difference is that in general a website is on a particular topic. Fine. It means a website can provide you some limited services, whereas a web portal can provide you multiple services. Fine. Now let's read and discuss in detail. Well, website and portal, they both have a web based interface. It means for opening both of these, we have to use a web browser. They have some web pages. Fine. A website is a collection of web pages. Fine. What is a website? It is a collection of web pages, whereas a portal or a web portal can act as a gateway. It means in a web portal, we can have multiple links from where we can open multiple services or multiple websites. Okay. Now, an organization owns a website. Fine. Any organization can own a website. Let's talk about our school. So the website of our school is a simple website, whereas any big brand or company that is providing multiple services, especially data related services, they have their web portals. Fine. Now let's talk about Jio. Fine. So in the My Jio app, they have a web portal, because from that Jio app you can access multiple apps of Jio. Okay. So on the other hand, a portal is user centric. It means a portal is properly centered on a user. It means they will provide you everything that you want. Okay. Let's talk about Google. So when we open Google, in that Google we have multiple apps of Google that we can easily access. So it means our Google is a web portal, whereas if we are simply talking about a school site, so it means that's a simple website. Fine. Now next we have explain all the components of a website. Fine. This question is very important. This question they can also ask in the exams also, so you have to learn this question very carefully. Fine. The first component of a website is the web host. Fine. Now what is a web host? Web host is a service that we must have to buy if we want to show our website on internet. Fine. It is a service that we have to buy if we want to show our website on the internet. Fine. And this service is termed as hosting. In general, this web host is also termed as hosting. Okay. Now this hosting is where a website is physically located. Fine. This hosting is like a home or a place where we can put or store all the files of our website. Fine. Now group of all the linked web pages qualify to be called a website only when hosted on the web server. Fine. When all these web pages, index pages, home pages are stored in a local or in a global server, fine, then only it can be a website. Fine. Now second one is address. Well, as I have taught you earlier that every website on internet must have an address. So this address is the URL or the website name of a website that we have to open on internet. Fine. Then next we have home page. Fine. Home page is the first page of a website. Now let's suppose you are opening a website without a home page. It means you are not opening a single thing. Fine. So this home page is the first page of a website, and it is the most important key element which is required for a website. Fine. So all the components that we are reading till now, the first, second and third, these three are the must components. Fine. These three are must required in a website, and without these three a website cannot be a website. Okay. Then next we have a design. Design is the overall look or the layout of a website. Fine. It means what is design? It is the overall look or the overall layout. That it means how your website is in appearance, what are the basic features of it. Fine. So that will be termed as the design or layout. Then next we have content. Content means web pages, images, videos, audio, text, backgrounds, everything that are there, including all the web pages, all the links, everything that we have in a website, including web pages, will be the content of a website. And without a content, nobody will open the website. Fine. Now let's suppose that Google search will not provide you the search results. Fine. अगर Google में search result ही नहीं मिलते, तो it means Google will not be a useful thing for us. Fine. तो वहाँ पर हम लोग Google को use नहीं करेंगे. Okay. So it means content is must for a website. Okay. Now next question is, what are the components of a web page? Well, till now we were discussing about the websites. Now we have to discuss about web page in detail. Fine. As I have taught you earlier that web page is a single page that we create by using HTML, and by combining these web pages we can create a website. So now we have to learn about the components of this web page only. Okay. Now in general a web page has 5 components, and these 5 components are must. Fine. The first component is the page title. Fine. This page title is the title that appears when we open a website. Okay. Then next we have header. Okay. Next we have header. What is this header? This header is the heading or the definition text that appears in a website. Okay. Then next we have body of the web page. Body means the remaining portion where we have text, where we have content, that is termed as the body. Then next we have navigation links. Navigation links means all the menus and buttons that we have on our page for moving to the other web pages is termed as navigation link. And then at last we have the footer. Footer means the bottom section of a web page where they have the copyright section, the website's information and other information. Fine. Then next we have write the advantages and disadvantages of a blog. Fine. Now this blog is a very important term in the computing. Fine. Blog stands for web log. Fine. Blog stands for web log. Fine. This blog is a diary writing or a journal writing on internet. Fine. But this journal or this diary can be read by any person on net. Fine. Now it has some advantages also and some disadvantages also. So one by one we have to discuss both of these things. First we have to discuss the advantages. The first advantage is enables you to write down your thoughts on anything that interests you. Fine. So what is it? It means this blog gives you a platform. Fine. It gives you a platform where you can write down your thoughts on anything that you just wanted to. Fine. Like suppose you want to write about computers, so you can write it over there. You love music, you can write some quotes on music. Fine. You want to write something on mythology, you can write a blog for that also. Fine. So it means in blog we can write anything as per our choice. Fine. Then next we have these blogs are very easy to set up. Fine. Now let's suppose you want to open a website but you don't want to pay. So in that case you can simply open a blog of yours. That blog will work as a website. It will give you a proper right to write or edit something on that, and that will be your personal page. Fine. Whereas if you will purchase a website, it will cost you a lot of money and that will be a very expensive method also. Fine. So that's why these blogs are generally used. Then next we have people can leave comments on your blog. Fine. Now the best thing is that when we create a blog, this blog will give you a very good feature that others can also like your post, they can share your post and they can also comment on your post. Fine. So this can also encourage us and they can also leave their feedbacks on your blog post. Fine. Well, along with the advantages, it has some disadvantages. The first is whatever we publish is available for everyone to see. Now suppose you want to write something that you don't want to show with the world. Fine. Because your blog is a public blog, it means anyone can see it. So that's why whatever you are publishing, it can be read or it can be seen by anyone. It means it is not secure. Next is personal blogs may be biased or contain inaccurate information. Fine. Now let's suppose there's a person who likes XYZ sport. Fine. So it means that person will write the blogs on that particular sport only. And if I am a person who doesn't like that XYZ sport, so it means that blog is not personally for me. Fine. So it means sometimes we read some blogs that we might don't like. Fine. Or it cannot meet our choices. Then next we have people may leave rude or inappropriate comments. Fine. It is the biggest problem in the blogging that whenever we write something, there are two types of people. The first who encourages and the second one who simply discourages. Fine. So there are some people who will write some rude comments and which can be a very much impactful for you. Fine. Then next we have types of blogs. Fine. Generally we have 4 types of blogs. The first one is termed as personal blog. Second is news and views. Third is a company blog, and the fourth one is a micro blog. Fine. So we have to start with the first one first. The first is a personal blog. Fine. A blog which is written by a simple single person or a single user, where he or she can easily write their ideas or thoughts, fine, with an online community, is termed as a personal blog. Fine. It means if you are writing something on your blog, fine, if you are writing about a topic that you just wanted to, so your blog will be a personal blog. Fine. Then next we have news and views. Fine. This news and views is generally maintained by a news company, fine, or any other television company. Fine. And this news and views, they just simply post some news or important educational or current related information. Fine. And these all news and views blogs are maintained by the journalist or television companies. Fine. Then next we have company blog. Now any blog which is made by a company for their customers and employees, it can be termed as a company blog. Fine. You might have seen that whenever we open any mobile phone website, we have an option of forum. Fine. In that forum option, we can easily write our reviews. Fine. We can search the queries of our problems. Fine. So these are some kind of company blogs which are created and maintained by the companies only. Fine. In these blogs, they can also post some leaks of their new product. Fine. They can also share some information about their old products. Fine. And they can also get to know about the requirements of user from these blogs. Fine. I think that you have got this much. Then at last we have microblog. Fine. This microblog is a very important term. Fine. So you have to mark this term as a very important one because it can be in your exams also as a short term. Now, microblogging is an online broadcasting medium that exists as a specific form of blogging. Fine. It means through this we can easily broadcast our messages to others. A microblog differs from a traditional blog in that its content is typically smaller in both actual and aggregated file size. Fine. It means if you are writing some small post, fine, it means if you are writing few lines on a particular topic and you are sharing that, that will be termed as a simple micro blog. Fine. Whereas in a simple personal blog, we can write any length of content. Fine. So it was all about blogging. Then next we have HTTP and HTTPS. Fine. It is the last question for the day and it is one of the most important question also. Fine. Because with this single question we have to learn two definitions. We have to learn about HTTP and HTTPS, their comparisons also. Fine. First one is HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, whereas HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secured. Okay. Now in HTTP, it is a system for transferring information over internet. Fine. It means with the help of HTTP, we can share our files on internet, but without any security feature. It means in this HTTP, we don't have any security. Whereas in the HTTPS, data is transferred with SSL. SSL means Secure Socket Layer. Fine. It transfers the data with SSL. This SSL will encrypt your data. ये क्या करेगा? Data को coded form में convert कर देगा. It means now your data will be encrypted and then sends data over the secure connection. Fine. Making it hard to leak. It means in this HTTPS, our data will be highly secured. Fine. Then next we have, it is useful for sending non-sensitive information. Fine. Now suppose you want to send something that is not much crucial for you. For that you can use a HTTP site. Fine. Suppose I want to post something publicly. Fine. That data is not personal to me. Fine. Let's talk about our social networking apps or sites. Fine. That data is generally public in nature. That's why for that we can use a HTTP. But let's talk about our banking websites. In our banking websites, we have to keep our data personal with us. So for that we have to use a HTTPS. Okay. Now, HTTPS में क्या होता है भाई? It is used for transferring or exchanging sensitive informations. Fine. These sensitive informations can include our mobile numbers, our account numbers, our OTPs, CVV numbers, banking, net banking passwords, and so many things. Fine. Then next we have in HTTP is generally used for blogging or entertainment and general article writing purpose. Fine. It means it is only used for basic uses. Fine. Like for blogs, entertainment or general article writing purpose. Whereas HTTPS is used when we have to perform some operations like login or banking operations or payments or transactions. Fine. For that we have to use HTTPS. At last we have, for transferring data, HTTP doesn't require anything extra, whereas HTTPS requires a secure socket layer or a SSL for the data security. Fine. So this is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS.